Hi there, it's Alex. I'm an expert at Yandex Direct. I'm back again with another Yandex Direct tutorial video. In this video, we'll discuss how much advertising an app can cost and what budget you should allocate for app promotion with Yandex Direct. First, I'll tell you about the Yandex Direct auction system, because this is what determines the cost of advertising. We'll also talk about app ad billing, what you're charged for, and how your payment model affects your ads. Let's start with the fact that Yandex Direct doesn't have a fixed cost for advertising apps. The cost is determined by an auction held between advertisers. The results of the auction are influenced by your submitted bid, as well as the number of competing advertisers, the app category, and the quality of the advertising materials. The more popular your app's category, the more competitors bid in the auction. Each auction selects only one ad to show to one specific user. Here's how it works. Advertisers set their bids, and the system selects one ad as a result of bidding between all the candidates competing for the placement. The auction is fully automated. It's held individually for each user at a given point in time. Your bid isn't the only parameter in the auction process. Your chance of winning in the auction is also influenced by your ad's relevance to the user's interests and by your competition. To set a bid, the advertiser needs to choose the type of conversions for which they're going to pay. In ad for mobile app, this could be clicks or installs. The advertiser can select pay-per-click or pay-per-install, either automatically or manually via the display strategy setting. All Yandex Direct ads participate in the same auction. This applies to both site ads and in-app ads. There's no way to determine in advance which ad is shown because the auction is unique for each user. This means that we can't predict the budget required for a campaign advertising a mobile app or how many installs it will generate before actually running it. However, I have some tips to help you set up your ads more effectively. You'll be able to estimate the minimum and recommended budgets for an ad campaign. Here's how the auction works in Yandex Direct step by step. First, the system compares all ads from the same advertiser, selecting one to compete for the impression. The chosen ad then enters a bidding process with competitor ads. Finally, the algorithm determines the winner. Note that competing for impressions doesn't affect the cost of advertising or increase your advertising budget. Competing for impressions only affects the ad selection process. Moreover, Yandex Direct understands that the same advertiser may be running ads both for a website and an app. In this case, we can match the ads and select only one to display. App advertising currently supports two payment models: pay-per-install and pay-per-click. Pay-per-install is an easy and risk-free way to start advertising your apps. With this model, you're only charged for actual installations of your app. However, it can be difficult to expand your advertising and purchase additional installs at a fixed price with this payment model. The pay-per-click model is more flexible. It allows you to estimate your advertising costs based on the average cost per install, in-app event, or click. Generally, pay-per-click allows for easier expansion or, as we call it, scaling of your ad campaigns. How else do these payment models differ? With pay-per-install, your campaigns get off to a slower start but are guaranteed to maintain the cost per install, which makes your advertising budget more predictable. Pay-per-click advertising offers more capabilities. With this model, you can prioritize both installs and in-app events such as purchases. When first launched, these ads might not meet the average cost per event or click, making your budget less predictable. How can you estimate the cost of advertising your app then? First, based on recommendations from Yandex. In the advertising dashboard, Yandex displays the average cost per install for similar apps within the same category that are being advertised in Yandex Direct. This cost can serve as your point of reference. We don't show this value for categories that have insufficient statistics for recommendations. If you've previously advertised your app in other advertising systems, you can refer to the data that you've accumulated in those systems. Keep in mind that the placements and audiences of each advertising system have their own unique characteristics. Finally, you can of course base your advertising costs on your app's economics. Consider an acceptable price that you're willing to pay to attract a single user, provided that the user makes purchases in your app. The cost of advertising a mobile app is determined through an auction among advertisers. The auction takes the bid amount and also the ad quality and level of competition into account. It's difficult to predict the number of installs and the ad budget because we don't know in advance how many times the ad will be displayed and to which users. However, we can refer to the average cost per install as our benchmark and use the recommended campaign settings to determine the minimum and recommended budgets for an ad campaign. For campaigns advertising mobile apps, we can choose between the pay-per-install and pay-per-click models. Pay-per-install is the preferred option if you want to experiment with app ads while strictly maintaining your specified cost per install, instead of focusing on increasing the number of installs. Pay-per-click is more flexible and allows you to configure your app to maximize both installs and in-app events. Bear in mind that the advertising budget is less predictable under this payment model. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more videos and find out how to get the most out of Yandex Direct.